Welcome and thank you for tuning into the JoyTutor Podcast. I am your host, Joanna Williams. Together, we will unpack, learn, teach, and celebrate the journey of emerging entrepreneurs and courageous trailblazers. Let's dig in. Welcome, Jo.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, we are jumping right into it. Everything happens for a reason. We tried this the first time, but I did not hit record. What?
You know what?
To be.
We said it. We said everything happens for a reason. So we're going to go with that. And then we believe it. It's true.
Absolutely. So for anyone listening who may be stumping themselves because they feel like, I didn't do this, or I should have done that. I believe everything is divinely set up to happen the way it's supposed to happen. Rejection is protection.
Oh,
there's a better way and something else happening. So I say all that to say, listeners, my good girlfriend, JoAnn, we go way back. Thing one, thing two, we are both JoAnns. She's JoAnn, I'm Joanna. We met in Belleville, Illinois. Well, you're from Belleville. I live in Belleville, but we synced up and made a friend connection through a mutual friend, Teddy Be Free.
Oh
Shout
my
out
gosh.
to you.
Throwback.
Girl, Be Free Paparazzi. You and I have a lot of photos out there.
Girl.
Under that Be Free Paparazzi.
Lots of good times.
So many good times. Thank you, Teddy. Let's give a shout out to Teddy Be Free Paparazzi. Hey, friend. Hey, boo. Since then, so much has happened. And even since the first attempt a couple months ago, when we tried to record and do the first initial podcast interview, you were living in California. And now, where are you, love? So introduce yourself and tell us where you are.
Oh my gosh. Well, hello, everyone. Before I get started, thank you, Joanna, for having me on again. No, thank you seriously for having me on this podcast. I've been a fan of your podcast and of course your journey with JoyTutor. And so I'm so honored to be here. And of course, I love you as a friend and a family member and I'm excited to do this. Again, I'm JoAnn Smith and I do a lot of things, but I am the founder of In Less Than 30, which is a news channel that I developed on YouTube. And I discuss anywhere between breaking news, hot topics, entertainment, fashion, which I have a degree in, a BFA, politics, which is one of my other passions, all the things entertainment. So it's a fun channel. Speaking of fashion, I actually was recently accepted into the Amazon influencer program. So I'm an Amazon influencer, y'all. Okay. And I'm really excited that Prime Day is coming up on July 11th and 12th. So definitely follow me in Less Than 30 with JoAnn Smith on Amazon. And we'll have it all in the links and stuff for you. But I'm going to be talking about all the deals and steals that are coming up those 2 days to shop with me. Fashion, beauty, wellness, home. So I did just recently move from California to Texas, Dallas, Texas area. Family decision. My mother and I had purchased a home in California. We decided to relocate to Dallas because of family out here. My brother and his wife and family, she is pregnant. She'll be due in probably September, October. And so, we have new family members and my sister's going to come here in 2 years. So my mom will have all her kids in this area. The reason for the move for family reasons. And we're excited to start my new journey and my new business out here in Texas with influencer marketing and all the things that I do.
Given that you've transitioned from California to Dallas, and before that from Illinois, Missouri to the East Coast, what have you learned from those multiple transitions?
It's funny because I grew up in the Midwest and I kind of always knew that I wasn't going to just stay in the Midwest. No, looking in judgment of anyone that stays where they grew up, but I just knew I always wanted to do more and see more of the world and especially this country. I've done a lot of extensive travel in the country. I used to travel for a former job I had and I'm up to 41 states. So I got the United States down packed, but Midwest, and then I graduated college in Los Angeles and I got my fashion degree out there. Actually, I have 2 fashion degrees, but my BFA was completed there. And I had a little small stint in Alaska. I was there just for a summer, which was super fun. Well, I don't know if it was super fun. It was super adventurous, different. I will say that. Let me be honest. I don't know if it was fun, but it was something I like to try different things, is what I'm trying to say. And now I'm here in Dallas in the South. So I've kind of lived all parts of the country. My favorite has been California. And I always say never, because as soon as you say, I'm never going to live here, that happens, or I'm never going to do this, and that happens. And you never know what situations and circumstances and opportunities life's going to have. So be open to it is what I would say.
Have you grown or evolved into, different versions of yourself between those transitions? What do you feel is the most different about you as far as how you walk, how you see yourself, your business, things that you were fearful of? Has any of those type of things shifted?
Oh my gosh, so many times. I feel like I'm on my fifth, sixth life journey. I'm 46. And by the way, I'm single. I'm not married. I have no kids. I just look around at my friends like yourself that have kids and long-term relationships. I'm like, how do you guys do it and balance it all? Because I'm just like, but the balance of it all is, and we talked a little about this, is just balancing your life and switching gears, not being afraid of starting over. I think as women, a lot of times we are afraid to start over, or just people in general, we're afraid to start over because change is scary. But I think what has kept me kind of grounded is just not really focusing too much on the past. You think about it and you're going to cry or be upset. I cried a lot leaving California. It's, my second home. Wasn't raised in California because I wasn't. I started in California at 20, but I definitely became a woman and an adult in California. So it has a lot of JoAnn in me. But I decided that I could have a pity party or be upset about it for as long as I want it to be, but it's up to me. And then I thought about all the great things that are going to come from the journey. And I've been here now just 5 weeks. It's like gone like this. And I've had so much fun. We've had, in the time I've been here, we have family here, of course. One of my two best friends already visit here. And so I have a lot of love around me. And I think if you have a lot of love around you, you're always going to be home. I'm looking forward to saying that this is my new home, because it's like a house and a home situation. Because I sometimes walk around and I live in Texas. This wasn't on the journey. This wasn't on the list, but I'm here. So you have to make the best of what you have in the circumstances. It's all about you and your attitude. I can't control what other people's attitudes are going to be towards or with me, but I can only control myself. And I know it's very cliche and it's like easier said than done, but I wake up every day and I'm thankful. I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm on this earth, and I'm just going to live my life and make the best of it.
When I moved to New York, and I, like you, even have those moments where I say, oh my God, I live in New York.
Mhm.
It blows my mind because I did not see this on the plan. I didn't see this on the roadmap at all. But and like you as well, I knew that I would not live in Chicago forever. I knew that my life and my journey was completely different than my mother and my grandmother and my father and my aunts and uncles around me. Just even shifting from Chicago or Illinois and moving over to Missouri, I had a moment where me and my sister were driving out in Baldwin, Missouri, Manchester, Missouri, you know what I'm talking about. And we were just going to, I think, the last Ponderosa. This was years ago. I mean, yes, I did say Ponderosa.
The
The steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
Now I cannot stand a buffet. They're gross, right? But I digress. But anyway, I had an aha moment where I said, oh my God, I live in Missouri and I do not have anyone else other than me and my 3 children.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
For me, it was nothing to pack up and go after what it is that I wanted, whether it was a place that I lived or a job or an event. It did not matter. And that the same type of resilience and go get it attitude applied to, hey, I did what I had to do. But fast forward 11 years later, I have some of the most deeply rooted relationships and friendships
Right.
in St. Louis.
That's
You
amazing.
included. You
Yes.
included, my friend. We've had so much fun. I do miss the joy that my home brought in Belleville, Illinois. That big 5-bedroom, 4-bath house,
Ooh.
honey. I used to call it the love house.
Mansion, honey.
And then I switched it to Joe's brownstone because I was manifesting that one day I will own a brownstone, thinking it might be in Chicago, not knowing that, hey, I would end up in New York. But Joe, can we just take a minute just to pay homage to the fun times we had?
Oh my God, girl.
In the city.
Look, they said the pictures aren't there, but there's some pictures. So
Ooh, child.
we had fun. I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, look, I didn't miss out on any fun, okay? If anything in my life, if I were to go outside and get hit by a bus, you couldn't say that JoAnn did not have fun, okay? I had fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When me and Emmett went to Miami for my 40th birthday, he was like, oh, let's go to the club. I said, no, sorry, let's go to sleep because I have clubbed and partied and drank and had shot. I did all the things, had a great time. I'm good, boo. I can rest now.
Yes.
I can do brunch.
We do brunch. We'll do an evening. It starts early and we're home by midnight. And honestly, 10 o'clock too is fine.
I cringed a little bit when you said midnight. I was like, oh.
Okay, well, let me just be more honest. Midnight's a little late.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun, but I just want to thank you, friend, just for being such a joy and a blessing on my journey. There's been so many transitions. When you met me, I was married. I had the 3 kids. I was working at United Health Group, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
Riding around in my little Lexus, girl, tearing up those St. Louis roads. But hitting the streets at night, all while working during the day, being a mother, finishing up my master's, then jumping into a PhD program. But then life happened. I prayed that prayer, and then God turned my life inside out. He said, okay, so you really want to see and live the highest version of yourself. Okay, well, let me remove this and move this out of your way and shed this. You're going to shed this and shed that. And before you become your highest self and live that best life, honey, you're going to have to heal a lot of stuff and deal with a lot of stuff.
It's that healing.
Look, kick you in the teeth type of healing.
Sometimes healing's not the zen that people make it out to be. People, you see healing, what do you see? It's people meditating. I'm like, sometimes healing is arguing, crying, it's anger, it's a lot.
Randomly crying, triggered on so many levels, okay? But we're on the other side.
Yes. Oh okay. My gosh.
For anyone who is tired of being where they are and you want something different in your life, I challenge you to look within. I challenge you to have that hard conversation. I challenge you to write down on paper the life that you want to live. And I challenge you to take one step.
Yeah.
Me and Joe took the steps, okay?
Over and over.
Over. That's the reason why she said she's lived 5 lifetimes. I swear to you, I was just saying that I feel like I've lived at least 10. Joe, my name has changed again. People are calling me Joy now. I love it. I receive it. So,
but you are Joy. So there it is.
Thank you, friend.
See.
Boop, boop. You. And that's the energy that I am leaning into. That's what I am manifesting. When I transitioned from St. Louis to New York, it was not easy. It was 7 years of transformation, 7 years of cocooning. But now that I am butterflying, hence the JoyTutor new logo.
I love it.
Now that I am butterflying and I'm in my voice, I am living out my freedom. I am living in joy. I'm very intentional. And I'm so inspired by a lot of people that are around me, you included, who, Joe, you were never afraid to speak your mind, do what you wanted to do. And you were so vulnerable and honest. Remember the breakup party that you had?
Girl.
fun.
Like, I think I had a breakup
Huh.
party before breakup parties were like a thing, but I was like,
You did. No.
like, I was
You-
like, look, or it's not a divorce, but it's a divorce, so like,
Yes. That was by far a true example of healing with your tribe and having a great set of friends around you who accept you for you, who understood what you were going through, and we
Mhm.
rallied around you. There are some pictures out there, okay,
Wow.
of that night, and we had a good time. But
Yeah,
look
we
how
did.
far you have grown. What have you learned relationship-wise, relationship Joe? Where are you at today compared to where you were back in 2009?
Well, now relationship, we talk about Adam and Eve or what?
Wherever you want this to go, whatever you can handle. And
I take it way back. Okay, so after that breakup party, I've had some other breakups and makeups, but I am still single. But one thing I have noticed, here's the tea about Texas. Okay, they say everything's bigger than in Texas. Well, no.
Well,
Well, no. Men are everywhere, and men, they're single men. I've like already been out on a date. Like, okay, I hadn't been here a month, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we'll see. No, the guys here are different than the guys on the West Coast. Let me tell you, guys on the West Coast are handsome, but they are a little bit more too cool for school sometimes. Guys here approach you, guys here look at you, they talk to you, they say hi, and they're more that Southern hospitality they talk about. And I think it's been true. I'm like literally taking out the trash. This guy, I look up, this dude's like, hi there. you know? No, seriously, I am open to finding my next joy in my life with not through a man, but because I already have my own joy because I'm very fulfilled in myself. But I would like a partner, someone that I can experience things with, and that's also going to lift me up when I'm feeling down. Because Lord knows I've done that for a lot of other people. So it's my turn.
is your season to receive, right?
Oh, I'm ready to receive it, honey.
Let's just sit in that, right? That season
Woo!
of harvest. I love it.
I guess got a time to water the grass. I don't know what the saying is. No idea.
Unclog the plumbing, friend.
Woo! Don't go
Well,
chasing waterfalls.
I'd be tearing up over here, Joe. Oh my gosh. No,
You guys, I'm keep for the listeners out there. I am keeping this G rated. This is me G rated. So I'm not trying to, what kind of show this is, but we'll keep it G.
It's the Joe show today. But boom.
But
they're getting Joe times 2 today.
Yes,
But that's just how we are, right? Together. I
Mhm.
mean, if we were sitting at the bar, we were having the same type of conversation. And,
Turned
this
out.
is our table,
Yeah.
my podcast show. So we can talk about what we want to talk about.
Okay.
Listeners, put the babies,
Ooh.
earmuffs, baby. Okay. And we're trying to talk in code. And if you're not following,
Sorry.
then I'm we're so sorry that you have, that you're not following, but good time.
I think your listeners know.
Texas. I
Yeah.
could really see you, Joe, with a good, thick Southern Texas.
Not thick. Rugged, thick, yeah. Thigh meat.
I'm just saying, I could see you with a nice, thick, tall, brother.
Yeah.
Keep his big arms around
Please
you.
be tall. I'm 5'9". I need a tall man. So yeah.
Okay, let's put it out there. What is your wish list?
Here we go.
Let's do it.
There's a lot. There's the inside and there's the outside. Okay.
Character. Okay.
Because there's inside and outside things. I mean, when you first see someone, you don't see their personality. You don't see that they're a good person, kind, all that.
Right.
You're looking at what they look like. So tall is a thing because I am tall. I don't always wear heels, but I'm tall. 6'1" or up is usually best for me, usually.
Okay.
But, I have been known to date other men. I'm looking for someone that is kind. I think kindness it's such a hot topic word, but there's a difference between being nice and being kind. And for me, someone that's kind is honest.
Yeah.
Because being nice, you can lie to someone. Like if you were thinking, God, I hate that color on JoAnn. And then you said, if I asked you, do you like my top? And you said, oh, I like it. You're being nice to me, but you're also lying.
Yeah.
I like kindness. There's a difference. So kindness, because I always want someone to tell me the truth. I want someone that adores me, because I think that adoration is something that you want someone that when you look in their eyes, they look at you, you have that adoration towards each other because you'll want to take care of each other that way. I like someone that's kind of current with what's going on in the world, because I'm such a person with the hot topics and news, and politically speaking, politics is important to me. God-fearing, of course. I am a Christian woman, and I want a man that is a believer. It's easier, I find, to be with people that have the same Christian faith or just faith. They don't have to be Christians, but believing in God would be the ultimate, right? Just alignment in that way. And then just, I think when you meet those type of people, attraction usually happens, because attraction, even though it's like you say, we want these like, men with like perfect pecs and this and this. And then I've dated those type of men before. And then you get like none of the other things I was talking about. They have no soul, cheat on you. But I think it definitely levels you up if you're like, I don't know, a 7 and you have those other characteristics to a 9.
The reason why, audience, I asked JoAnn this is because as a businesswoman, the other thing that I would add to your list is that he is understanding and supportive and gives you room to grow on your entrepreneurship journey. Because that's why I'm bringing this back to this conversation, ladies. If you're single and you're looking for someone and you own your own business, or if you're in a relationship and you can understand, I'm finding the balance, because my man will look at me and I'm editing podcasts and it's episodes 10 o'clock at night. He's like, okay, are you coming to bed? It's finding that balance. So then how do I get to do what I need to do? He also has to be flexible, right?
Yes.
I had to have, that's part of also this journey, is speaking up and saying what it is that I need.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's me assuming that he knows that I need
oh my God.
flexibility.
I was just going to preach it, girl. I was just going to say it. I think as women, we have a rough time. We get mad and we haven't even expressed before we're angry what it is that we need. So we have to spell it out. And you're right. I can never take anyone. You can't take that anything for granted with people, and that someone assuming, right? I assumed you knew that I needed this. No, you never expressed it and never said it. So detail it out, write it down, talk about it. Usually don't talk about it while you're angry. And because it's not fair. It's not fair to anybody if you're going to be upset with them and you have never told them that from 8 to 10 o'clock is when I edit or whatever it is. And I won't be to bed till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever it is, whatever you need. But I will say this, there's different types of relationships. Like I said, my mom and I live together. I'm a full-fledged adult, and she certainly is. So it's a different dynamic when you're an adult living with a parent versus when you're adult living, or when you're a child living with your parents. And sometimes the roles reverse, and they reverse a lot as your parents get older. But I found that communication is key in that relationship, especially. So it's communication. Those small things make a big difference, I think, in anyone's relationship.
The relationship aspect of it and being an entrepreneur is different because he has seen me pivot and change. And oftentimes, while I am finding my way, sometimes someone on the outside can look at it as failure, which they can project that onto you. And then make you doubt and question yourself, which I have done. And not to say that he's done that, there has been some instances, right? But even in my previous relationship, my last marriage, he was like, oh my, how long are you going to be tinkering and poking at JoyTutor? And it's been since 2009 that I have been on the JoyTutor journey, but I'm here. They say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, and I have put in my time. And where I'm going with this is that no matter the relationship, whether it's your partner, your parent, or your friends, hold on to your vision. It's okay for it to take a little longer. If it's something that you cannot let go and it brews in your heart, follow your heart and shift and start over as many times as you have to, because you are not the same person you were when you had the idea. I'm not the same woman I was. I've grown so much. I've evolved. Therefore, it's only right that my business and my services grow as well. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel the same because you're right. We talked about the different journeys and different lives we had. Every journey, every time I shift or pivot in my life, whatever I'm doing, my business has to change. You know, your job changes, your personality, your friends change, your people that you surround yourself with. And it's so true because I think Oprah talks about that. Like everyone's not going to be there with you along the entire journey for whatever reason. And people, trust me, people I thought I would have had as lifetime friends for this journey of mine are not there. And it's shocking. I mean, it's like, had you asked me, 10 years ago, that one of my best friends of my entire life, I've known since I was 12, if you had told me that she would have gotten married and I wasn't going to be at her wedding, I would have been laughing at you, but she did. And she's moved on. I've moved on. I will always love her and miss her, but I realize that she's just not a part of my journey at this point. She served her and I served my purpose with her and the journey that we were supposed to be on. And then it's just shifted. And that's okay. And I think you have to come to terms with whatever it is, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a family member, whatever it is. But the thing I've learned too is we talked about never saying never, and you have to be open to it all. And sometimes things do come back around, because even in my almost half a century of life, I've seen things fall to pieces, build back up, and then things are reapproached at a different point. They're never the same with people and relationships. If something comes back around is what I'm talking about, but it's okay. And I think that's beautiful. And so I'm open to it all. I've changed so much in each of my different journeys, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with me in Texas. This was a very quick decision move. We had opportunity to sell the house, and we were deciding to stay in California at first. And so things just quickly shifted, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But again, it's like the journey, never say never. So will I be back in California in 5 years? I could be. Could I be, I don't know, in Iowa? I'm open to it all at this point. And I think that I had to learn to let go of a lot of the control that I was holding on to, because it wasn't doing me a lot of good. I'm a person that has things in ducks in a row and have a plan. And I just kind of let go of that. I'm like, okay, not that I don't plan things, I do, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, God, what's next? What's going to be thrown in front of me? You know how people want to say no to things because people keep on piling things on so they will learn to say no. I'm the opposite. I was learning to say yes to things because I was finding that I was starting to make myself into this bubble of, will only do this. I will only do that. I try to open myself up to do more adventurous things. As fun as I am, I have certain things that I have limits on. So for instance, even last week, I was on a pontoon boat. And that for me is a huge thing, because I'm that person that's like, it's going to flip. It's who's going to drive, these things happening, people dying, all this different stuff. And for me, that was taking a risk and saying yes to something that I normally would. And I even up until the day you said, there's no way I'm going on it. And I said, screw it. Just go for it, JoAnn. So
my yes is flying. I am terrified of flying. I am terrified of heights.
Okay.
For example, if we're at a stadium at a concert and we're in the nosebleeds, I will literally almost faint because of the anxiety. But I am still walking up the stairs, and I will sit and I will enjoy the show. I always say, I shouldn't say always, but I have found my footing around saying no to fear and yes to what it is that I want to do. I've always said fear will never hold joy back because I am going to challenge you tooth and nail. You're going to have to show up and prove me wrong, fear. So I'm going ahead and hop on this plane because what's on the other side in New York is a new boo or a new life or a business meeting. And here I am. So I'm very happy to say that I have allowed my heart to lead versus my fears or my ego. Relationships dissolving. I honestly had not some of those relationships dissolve where I used to live. I would still have one foot there and one foot here. Sometimes things happen for reasons that we cannot see. And also things happen to allow us to be free. And we don't know what's going on in the background. And not to say that those people are malicious to us, but sometimes our hearts have to release those relationships so I can live my true life and my full life and become my best self. So it has not been easy, but finding peace in it and understanding that I am a kind person, which I understood where you were going when you were defining the definition between kind and nice.
Yes.
Nice is you can have a nasty attitude, but be nice enough to move out of the way. Okay. Or you can be a kind person and allow me to fall and show me grace.
Yeah.
That's a kind person.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bringing it full circle.
Okay, let's do it.
So speaking of transitions,
Yes.
you know, that seems to be the headline of this conversation because that's just the way our lifelines in this lifetime has been. And I also was thinking about, I had a moment in this lifetime where I felt like I was not the main character.
Oh.
I have been learning to say no more because I was saying yes, yes, yes on autopilot. Not the main character in my own life, but now I'm the main character, Joe, and I'm finding myself to say no and be okay and at peace with them being in their fields or being upset.
Yeah. And sometimes no is literally just a complete sentence. You don't need to explain yourself. I mean, I get it. So if someone invites you to their wedding, you're going to say, a reason why. I think women, we judge ourselves so much internally and versus we have this inner dialogue with ourselves about how we're not great friends or moms or whatever, sisters, whatever it is, right? And then the other person's not even tripping, but it's just we get in our own heads, literally, in our own ways. And if someone does have a problem, that's okay. Then you're just training them to not always be, at their beck and call, right?
Yeah, I recently saw a video on TikTok. There's this trend called Let Them. And I resonated with it because instead of me over explaining myself, I let them feel the way they feel. One young lady in particular, her Let Them video was pretty interesting. Hers was more on the topic of do not stop that guy from disappointing you or cheating on you, because you're going through his phone and you're trying to catch him, or you're people pleasing, you're saying yes to him, or you're completely dishonoring yourself by doing what he wants to do and giving him what he wants to do because you do not want him to break your heart and disappoint you. Then you break up with him. Let them. It is not your responsibility to manage their relationship and how they show up for you. That's on them.
Right.
Let them.
Let them. Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Let them. Okay. Hashtag let them. Let them and let go and let be.
And then on the flip side, let them love on you. Some people have a hard time accepting compliments, help, support, kind gestures. Let them.
Oh my gosh. If I had $1 for how many times I tell women, and I talk about women a lot because I have a background. I didn't talk about it, but I have a background in women's rights activism. I used to be a director with Women's March Action in Los Angeles with the women's marches out there. So I talk about women's issues a lot, but women have a hard time accepting compliments. If someone says, Joanna, I love that yellow, you look vibrant today, and you say, oh girl, this thing, or just say thank you.
Yes. Just say, see, the old me would say, oh, girl, I was rushing and I just found anything.
I just
Or
threw
I
it
just threw
on.
on anything. No, it's like, thank you, Jo. I appreciate that.
Yeah, accept it. Let me
Yes.
love on you, give you a compliment and accept it. And it feels good. I mean, it takes practice though. It
It
takes
does.
practice,
It does.
I'm always like, I know, no.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting there. I, for a very long time, was just so shy and almost like embarrassed about the shape of my body. And you know what I'm talking about? Because,
Mm,
you
mm,
know,
mm.
I'm a little heavy on the backside. Let me
You got
just
a
say,
good one.
I'm a little heavy on the backside, y'all. And the front side is caught up with the backside a little bit. So,
Oh no.
we popping around here.
You
But
have a gorgeous figure.
thank you.
Okay. I'm texting you.
Y'all
Admit
see
it.
that? I leaned right into it. Thank you.
Yes.
Sure did. But before I would, like, I would feel embarrassed about my body because I got so much attention. And that came from all of the other girls treating me nasty,
Sure.
not talking to me. Y'all know what I'm talking about, ladies. I had air
Mhm.
quotes, good hair. They would pull my hair because I had good hair. It
Oh.
didn't like me because that man looking at me, I can't control his eyes, sis.
Oh,
That,
sorry, sis.
that that's
Get your
that's
man.
that's not on me. So, but now I'm in the season of let them feel away.
Mm, mm.
Me and Shirley are out here in this street. Okay, this bald head. It's either Shirley or the bald head, honey. Let
Look, I
them.
already said Shirley is popping, so I'm like, okay,
Thank
all
you. See,
right.
I let Shirley do what she do. I got to be better to her, but it's all good.
She's great.
See, I said I let Jo give me a compliment. So those
Mhm.
ladies listening, if someone extends help to you, let them. Just surrender to it, lean into it. Sometimes people are just simply being kind
Yes.
and don't mind their business. If you're concerned about them managing their time, that is on them. That's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. You've done enough.
Yes. And to add to what you just said about the let them,
Mhm.
also let yourself receive it. And also don't forget to ask. Women forget to ask for help because we are so busy being, mothers and sisters and daughters and aunties and all this other stuff for baby mamas and everything else. We think that we have to be perfect at it all. And there's just no way. There's no way because you're going to burn out. You think you're like this, right, with everything. And really, it's like your relationship might be here, your parenting might be here, your friends might be here. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
but you think we lie to ourselves and think we're here. But if we ask for help, we could be a little bit more balanced. Nothing's ever going to be perfectly right in line.
Yeah.
But women have a hard time asking for help. So if you're listening, ask somebody for help, receive the help, let them help you, but also help yourself too, right?
Yes. Let you help you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In closing, Jo, what's next for you?
Oh man, next is exciting. Prime Day is coming up. It is July 11th and 12th. To shop with me, I will have the link below, but I will be talking about all the deals and steals on fashion, home, especially since I just moved into a new house and we've got a ton of merchandise from Amazon, of course. It's like every day, and just kind of revamping my life out here in Texas. A lot of new scenery, of course. It's different than California. There's fake beaches. It's not really a beach. There's no ocean. There's no mountains or hills really, but we have lots of lakes. Getting right back into my news and fashion channel within less than 30 as well on YouTube. And we'll have links for that as well. So I'm excited for this next journey and to see and make new friends and new energy in my life. Hopefully a new man. And yeah, I'm ready for all that. I'm ready to receive it. I think that God has placed me here for a reason and nothing he ever does is in vain. So bring it on.
All the joy and blessings to you, my friend. You are so deserving of it. You will have it. I'm sure of it. I'm super excited to watch you on your journey. I've already watched you grow and evolve. I'm ready to watch you take over Texas because this is Texas. Y'all don't even know what y'all just received. Okay.
Yeah.
How can we get in contact with you, love?
My handle's at in less than 30. You can go on Instagram, in less than 30 news on TikTok, in less than 30 on YouTube as well. My name is JoAnn Smith on Facebook, but Facebook is more of my personal stuff, but I also post on there as well. Yeah, we'll have it all linked, and that's how you can find me. Excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us. We hope you enjoyed the show. Before you head out, we do have 2 events coming up. We have a virtual networking event that is hosted on July 13th, as well as a high tea. Yes, honey, I said high tea. We will be networking in elegance, love, held on September 30th in Brooklyn, New York. You can register for both events at joytutor.com. And last but not least, if you haven't already, you can check out our Entrepreneur Planner, which is available for purchase at joytutor.com, or you can find it at Barnes & Nobles. We would love to get social with you, so check us out and follow us, and we'll follow you back under the handles JoyTutor Inc. or JoyTutor. Until next time, take care.